Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our daily Walking Dead video for today. We're going to be talking about third part of answers for your questions for the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 5, Self-Help. Alright, so continuing on with these today, going to have one more tomorrow probably, and yeah, if you guys have any other video suggestions for this week, any other video discussion topics I can do videos on, please private message them to me. I don't have too many for this week just because of the way the episode went. A lot of times there isn't that many different things to talk about. Like, I'm thinking about doing maybe a character spotlight on Beth, but I did one at the end of season 4, so it hasn't been that long if you think about it. I mean, we've had some new stuff with her in this episode, but it hasn't been that much, so maybe something I'll think about, but I'm not 100% sure if that's something that I want to do. So anyway, so we'll get into the questions, and then tomorrow we'll do one more Q&A, and then of course episode 5 should air. Okay, first question is from MiXX Tr, and he or she says, I have a question I've been thinking about. How did Gareth know that Carol was the one who killed his mother, aka Mary? They were the only ones in the room. Walking Dead mistake, maybe? Well, he's pretty smart, right? And he did see her with Rick's group, with the rest of the group. So I'm to assume that he kind of had an idea of who it was, who the culprit was, who had attacked in and had killed her, because he didn't know. She was like the only one that he saw that that wasn't captured. So she came in of her own free will and attacked the place. And I think Gareth, being as smart as he is, he's kind of able to deduce that must have been her. However, you're right to a degree as well too, that it could just be kind of like a mistake, because that's something that the viewer knows, but necessarily his character may not know for sure. But I mean, I would just chalk it up to Gareth being pretty smart, being able to narrow that down. Next question is, hey Trev, who do you think will be the first to go from Abraham's group? We know Abraham is pretty tough, but it seems like he'd be more willing to keep Eugene alive than himself. Also, there is Rosita, who seems pretty capable, but we can't be sure they'll follow the comics. Yeah, I don't think they're going to follow the comics with them. I don't think so. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for the comics in what happens with those three in their group, but you got to add Tara to that mix as well too. Then you've got Glenn and Maggie that are part of their group right now also. So out of all of them, who do I think is most likely? I'm gonna go with Rosita, because even though she's still alive in the comic book series, I don't really know what Kirkman's doing with her, or if if there's any kind of long-term payoff for having her around. I almost think she's just one of these characters that he brought in, and he used for some of the story, but then he just kind of left her there. She was there, but he never really did much with her. So I'd probably go with her. I think you're right that Eugene, it would make sense that Eugene would have to survive, I think, one way or another. I'd be shocked if they killed off Eugene, because everybody's wanting to protect him and everything. And he's pretty smart as well too. So he's got the group there to take care of him. I think he'll probably be okay. And then maybe, Abraham, yeah, that's possible too, because he is really tough, but he's in the firing line all the time. He's a fighter, right? So he's always going to be out there in danger. And then, of course, you've got Glenn, Maggie, and Tara. Tara, who knows? It could be any time, right? There's no real telling signs of anything happening with her. But since she's kind of new and we don't know, I mean, we know about her, like we've seen her backstory in season 4, but I'd like to see them do something with her, because she hasn't been around for all that long, and she hasn't gotten that much time, up front in front of the cameras and spotlight, that kind of thing. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. She could be killed off like it's nothing, but I'd like to see Tara, stick around for a while. Then Glenn and Maggie, yeah, it could be any time really. Next one is from Mummy913, and he or she says, please do Z Nation episode. It was a funny Citizen Z is, and then he cuts off. That's all he wrote. I was going to stop doing reviews for Z Nation, but it's a fun show. It really is. It's really fun. It's not something to take too seriously. It's just something to kind of just enjoy and just relax and enjoy the silliness of it. But people do seem to like the reviews quite a bit. So I may continue to do that, especially since there seems to be more interest there than there is in seeing me review Gotham or Constantine or a lot of other shows that I've reviewed recently. So I may actually continue with Z Nation. I just missed the episode last weekend due to just being busy and everything with, I was doing some 100,000 subscriber videos and that kind of stuff. So I was a little bit preoccupied, but I'll definitely watch that this week, and then I'll probably do a review this weekend for it. So thanks for by the time you're watching this, that might be, it might already be up or be up soon. So thanks for that. Yeah, I'll probably continue with those, at least through the end of the first season, because there's going to be a season 2 also, which I thought was strange, but yeah, okay, cool. It's fun, so why not? Next one's from The Walking Ginger. And he or she, I'm assuming, I guess it could be either, says, "Hey Trev, I have a video suggestion for you. Do you think it's possible that Carol was captured on purpose? So maybe Daryl planted her inside as part of their plan to get Beth out. Would love to hear your thoughts on this." Okay, well, yeah, I've heard quite a few people mention this, that Carol it's possible that Carol would have just, given herself up, that kind of thing, and gotten inside in order to break out afterwards. But I kind of doubt it. Now, the reasons why I doubt it are because Daryl seemed very distraught, when he got back to the church. He did not seem like everything was kosher and everything was going according to plan, right? He seemed like he was really worried and that things were not going well. So I would say probably not, and I hope we get to see that angle of what happened with them against the Dawn's group, the officers, and how she ended up getting captured or saved, so to speak. They probably should have put that in last week's episode. We might see it in this week's episode, which would be cool to see it. But I think they probably should have added that to last week's episode because there wasn't much in the way of action, or it was kind of a closed-in episode. Everything was inside the hospital. The second they get outside, she gets captured and brought back inside. So I would have liked to see them maybe cut 10 or 15 minutes out of the episode and put in that scene with Daryl and Carol. I think that would have added a lot of, maybe just action or just intensity or just fun stuff to the episode, is what I think. So yeah, good stuff, but really excited to see what's going to happen with that, afterwards with Carol being there, because now you have Carol and Beth both there. So it's going to be a lot easier for them to organize and break out. Now, Noah was okay, but Carol's really, really smart and crafty and cool and collected, and I could really see her, she's also will do anything, and she has no problem with killing, right? She's killed Karen David, all the people of Terminus, many of them. She's got no beans with that. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. That should be really, really good. But yeah, I don't think she was captured on purpose, to answer your question briefly. It didn't seem like that from Daryl's perspective because he seemed really worried. So yeah. Next one is from Amy McGeary. This question is, "Hi Trev. For your next Q&A, could you answer this? If Rick's group overtake the hospital where Beth and Carol are, what do you think will be done with the other people who Dawn's group has taken? Rick's group took the survivors from Woodbury back to the prison with them, but without a safe place, how will they integrate the new characters with the group? Do you think we will see Rick compromise his morals?" I don't think that. I think that Rick will kind of understand. I think he would kind of take in anybody who was there. None of the officers, I don't think, because they're gonna be loyal to Dawn. They're gonna fight back, right? But anybody else, like the wards, they call them, or Beth, or if there's anybody else who was just kind of working there, like the doctor would be very, very useful to have because Rick's group doesn't have one after Herschel's gone. So characters like that would be absolutely perfect for the group for him to add. And I do think we'll see at least one character from this section of the story added to the group, similar to how they did with Tara. At least a couple. Noah will probably be added to the show going forward, and then I think, if he survives, that is, and I think probably the doctor, maybe one other character. I guess we'll see, but at least those two I think will be added to the story in the long run. So, because the doctor is very useful, you can't go wrong with the doctor in a zombie apocalypse. There's stuff going wrong all the time, and he's really useful to have around. Next one's from Legend Lou, and he says, "Hey, another suggestion. I'm interested on your thoughts of what the next villain should be like in The Walking Dead after Negan, and what main character would you prefer to be killed off next in the TV series?" Okay, so your first part of the question. The next villain should be like after Negan. Well, if what we're seeing from the comic book series is, kind of the next big villain groups, possible spoilers for the comic book series here, I'm going to try to dance around them, but The new group, the Whisperers, or I call them the Leatherfaces. I would think that their leader would have to be just some sick, badass dude. Like he would have to be some just deranged and crazy, twisted guy to lead a group like them. He would have to be just like the most twisted dude you'd want to meet, like just so twisted. So that's what I'm hoping we're going to see, is somebody intimidating, just sick, just I don't know necessarily if the Leatherfaces or Whisperers are cannibals, but I wouldn't say that it doesn't make sense that they would be. I think it would make sense that they would be, but not make it their defining factor. It's just like, oh yeah, that's something. Well, there's not much food around. What are you going to do, right? But yeah, I would like to see the leader of that group be even more intimidating and badass than Negan or the governor or anybody. Just like some sick dude that just has maybe an infatuation with death or something, or just really dark and really evil. I'd like to see a villain like that after Negan. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to see. Now in the TV series, that's way down the line. We're talking like that would be probably 3, 4, 5 years from now until we'll see someone like that. So, but that's what I'm hoping we'll see. And to answer your second part of the question is, what character would you prefer to be killed off next in the TV series? Prefer, yeah. Well, it's a tough one. I actually like Sasha now. If you guys watch my videos throughout the summer, you know that I'm not a fan. I was not a fan of Sasha at all. But seeing what they did with her and Bob in the TV series, I really, really liked it. So at this time, not her anymore. If someone's going to be killed off, well, Dawn, if you count her, I'd like to see her get killed off as soon as possible. But from the survivors, from Rick's group, that's tough. I would probably go with, maybe Gabriel. I don't really like him all that much. I mean, he's okay. He's weird, but he's kind of useless, to tell you the truth. I mean, okay, he's good in a sense that he can be the voice of morality, and he can have the if Rick's group is to become part of a bigger community, he can do kind of the the religion aspect. He can be kind of a religious figure there for people, to keep morale up, to keep people psychologically, feeling good about what's going on, and and kind of provide that side of things. But right now, with Rick's group in the state that it's in, he's not all that useful. So I'd probably go with him. Plus, he can't even defend himself against one zombie. Aside from him, I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of like all the other characters in Rick's group right now. I like pretty much everybody. So I wouldn't really say there's a preference here of who I just have had enough of seeing. Abraham is getting on my nerves a little bit, but he's pretty badass too, like we saw the scene in the promo, the sneak peek, where he's beating the guy with the like the can or whatever it was, which actually, on second thought, I was looking at that again, that actually might be a flashback. You guys might be right about that, because his hair does look different, and he does look like he's wearing totally different clothes, so that could be a flashback of what happened to him earlier on in the zombie apocalypse, which will be cool. I'll be excited to see that. But yeah, there really isn't. I kind of like everybody right now. There's nobody that I hate from Rick's group right now, I wouldn't say. So that's all I can really say for that one. So I'm trying to keep the Q&As a little bit shorter in terms of length. I'm trying not to go on for too long with them. I'll call it here for today's, and then of course we'll do one more tomorrow before the episode premieres, and probably review a Z Nation coming today or tomorrow, sometime soon anyway. And if you guys have any other video suggestions, you know what to do. Send them to me. And if you guys like the video, as always, thumb it up if you could. I would appreciate it. Share it, favorite it if you want to. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.